If you are a marketing agency and you've been struggling to get consistent call volume or struggling to get high quality clients through cold email, then this video is for you. We have helped over 30 marketing agencies generate more calls consistently through cold email. Typically, they're starting with either not having done it at all, or maybe they're getting a few positive replies per week, and we're generating up to 5 to 10 qualified booked appointments per week for them. This not only allows them to sign more clients more consistently, but higher quality clients. So in this video, I'm going to give you our exact process step by step so you can follow it for yourself and improve your outbound. So this is a high level view of the system, just to show you what is going on holistically. I think understanding this helps you understand the game far better. We talk to lots of marketing agencies and they get stuck in certain components. And when they understand, there's a bigger picture here, it allows them to move through more easily. So typically you've got some top of funnel. In this case, it's cold email. It doesn't have to be cold email. It could be cold DMs. It could be LinkedIn outreach. It could be cold calling. It could theoretically be going and knocking on doors. It could be anything, or ads if you have the budget for it. And then from there, you're going to push them into some sales system, sales approach. We preach a two-step close, discovery call over the phone, then pushing them to a 45-minute video call, which we call a demo call, which is essentially a live VSL that you walk through with the prospect. Okay, we do this because it gets better results than a one call close, in our opinion. Okay, then you're going to close them on a discounted price in return for a testimonial. And this is important. You're going to close them on a discounted price in return for a testimonial, and you're going to have some urgency. You're going to say, hey, if you sign up today and you give us a testimonial in 30 days or 60 days, if you're happy, then I can give you a cheaper price, because it means I don't have to chase you, and we're really on the hunt for video testimonials at the moment, so that's why I can give you a discounted price. Okay, you're going to justify why you're going to give them a discounted price, because you're going to sign way more clients this way, and that is what we want. You are then going to get them results in some capacity. Your results could be you're really nice and easy to work with, something. Okay, from there you're going to get referrals, you're going to get testimonials, and you're going to get content. You can get testimonials way earlier in the stage than you think, and I would just recommend, the goal is to get testimonials at the beginning. You're then going to use that and you're going to post it on YouTube or LinkedIn or both. Okay, and then what this is going to do is it's going to start to strengthen the outbound and sales process. All right, because now in your referrals you get, are probably going to watch your YouTube or LinkedIn, see some more content, and then they're going to book a demo call. When you do your cold outbound, lots of people just won't reply to your outbound, but they will go and check out your YouTube channel. And then YouTube's going to organically start pushing your content to them, and it's going to make it stickier. And then some of them will eventually book in a demo call. So this is going to self-tighten, because then you're going to get more throughput. You're going to have more good results and more bad results. You can make content about both. Okay. You can make content about how this is going. You can make content about how your sales is going. You can make content around all of this stuff. And what it's going to do is it's going to self-tighten the system, okay? And what we're going to talk about here is this, right? Because without running anyone through here, you can't start to self-tighten the system. You have to get throughput, okay? And so how do we get throughput? With cold email. So this orangey color, this orangey color here. So cold email entails setting up infrastructure, the ability to send emails at scale, crafting an offer, picking a niche, and I'll talk about why that's important and how many niches, what sort of things you want to look at, scraping a list, crafting the copy, sending the emails, and nurturing responses into a call. So I'm going to be going through essentially this below and show you exactly what we do step by step. We just helped another marketing agency book 10 qualified calls in their first 7 days. So if you want to watch how it did that, you can see this video below. But if you are a marketing agency just looking for similar results, then there's also a link below to book in a call in our calendar, and we can see if we can help you. Setting up the infrastructure, or the army, okay? So at a high level, this is cold email infrastructure. So you have what's called a sequencer, and that is your smart leads, your instant leads, your email bisons, etc. And I would just recommend starting with smart lead or instant lead. It's where most people start. It's a good place to start. So you've got this tool that can essentially send out emails and get responses to those emails. And what you're going to do with that tool is you're going to attach a whole lot of emails. Okay, and then it's going to send those emails through these emails. In order to attach email accounts, you need to have domains for each of those email accounts. And typically, if you're using like Google or Microsoft, you're typically getting one domain to 2 to 3 emails, and then you're attaching them to your sequencer. Okay, and you're going to do that en masse. Okay, you're then going to start warming these email accounts. And essentially, warming is just helping with deliverability. There's a big network of essentially email accounts in the warming pool, and they're going to be sending and opening and replying to emails to mimic human behavior, and you're going to do that for 2 weeks. Okay, if you start sending emails straight away, what people tend to find is that the accounts burn quicker, meaning that they start going to spam quicker. So we recommend 2 weeks warming. That's very typical, and we do 2 weeks warming. The sequencer then allows you to send, meaning that you can write an email, "Hi Bob," or "Hi first name, how are you?" And you can say, "I want you to send 100 of these a day." And it's going to use the attached email accounts and send out 100 of those emails a day to leads or email accounts that you've uploaded to your sequencer. Okay, so this is the infrastructure that allows you to send volume without landing in spam. And we currently use SmartLead as our sequencer. This is where we write, copy, and send emails from. We currently use resellers to buy email accounts, and we're very heavy on Google inboxes at the moment because the vast majority of people that we work with are targeting some sort of local business. They're targeting plumbers or roofers or kitchen and bathroom remodeling companies or these sorts of things. And those companies tend to be using Google infrastructure. They tend to be using G Suite or just Gmail and setting up their emails that way. Okay, so that's why we tend to use resellers and buy Google. But we've heard good things about stuff like Hypertide, etc. I'm not actually against anything. You just want to pick something that's logical for what you're doing. We use Porkbun to buy domains, or just buy them through our resellers, which we do often because it's just easier. It's all set up already. You want to set up enough infrastructure. You want this to be set up such that you can send a minimum of 3,000 net new leads per month. So if you're a marketing agency and you want to go after, just pick a random, you want to go after water pressure companies. You're like, hey, look, we can do Google review campaigns and then build out their CRM, and we can make pressure washer companies lots of money. We can build them really good websites, You need to reach out to at least 3,000 pressure washer companies per month in order for this to make sense. And so you need to set up your infrastructure to be able to do that. We send around 10,000 net new leads for us, which results in about 10 calls a week for us to cold email. Okay, we're going after slightly more competitive niches like marketing agencies. So that is why we send out a higher volume. If you're going after a less competitive niche, let's say mold remediation companies, you probably don't need to send that many volume to get 10 calls a week. So just a note, sequences, right, like SmartLead and Instantly, are moving towards an all-in-one solution where they do the full infrastructure setup for you. And I would recommend starting here if you're new. So you can just go to SmartLead or Instantly and use their setup. It's going to be like a little bit more expensive. They need to take a cut, obviously, but it's going to be simpler. And when you're trying to deal with all these things, you want to minimize mistakes so you can clearly diagnose the issue, because it'll be a miracle if it works 100% straight away. So you just want to make sure that you've knocked off as much of these things as possible. And by essentially buying it in-house, there's not really going to be any issues with it. So I would recommend that if you're just starting. Okay, offer. So this is the crux of why most marketing agencies fail. No one wants to buy your marketing services. No one wants to buy your marketing services. If they wanted to buy your services, they would be working with you already. They would have come to you already, or they would have gone to one of your competitors already. So just assume that those people are not in the market. Okay. So now we're trying to go after people that don't want marketing services. That's like the foundation of cracking outbound if you're a marketing agency. Understanding this core concept. No one wants marketing agency services. What they want is what marketing agency services can do for them. It can grow their business. So you're not selling marketing agency services. You're selling growing your business. Okay? And once you can understand that, this will make a lot more sense. To be real with you, most agencies don't understand this until they've started having sales calls. And people tell them, like, I genuinely do not think what you do works. And they're like, why? It does work. I've got heaps of case studies. And they're like, yeah, but I've been burnt in the past. And so like, okay, the market actually does not believe that this works. Okay, there's your foundation starting point with outbound. So if you can just take my word for it that you're not selling marketing services, you're selling outcomes, this whole thing is going to be a lot easier. If you don't want to take my word for it, that's fine. You can go down the path and the market will eventually tell you what I'm telling you now. And that's completely fine. Everyone that wants to buy your marketing services is coming to you inbound. Right? So you're not going to miss out on anyone by not trying to sell your services. They're already going to be coming to you. So we can just assume that the remaining types of people do not want to buy marketing services. There's two types of offers you can make when we're talking about offers, okay? You can make outcome-based offers. Hey, we can get you this result, right? Luckily, marketing services grow companies, so the result that you're getting is easy. Hey, we can get you more clients. Hey, we can make you more money. Hey, we can get you more leads. Those are essentially what you're going to be selling. We can make you more money. We can get you more clients, okay? And the best offers are a logical way to grow the business. What I mean by this is we used to run a restaurant marketing agency, and the best offer was, hey, we help venues grow by getting them midweek corporate events. Why? Because it's logical. Because a midweek corporate event is carefully spelled price. It's a big one-time payment. They come at the quietest time of the week. It's such a logical way to grow your business, okay? So when you're talking about your offer, you want to talk about a logical way to grow the business. Hey, we help moving companies grow by connecting them with real estate agents. Typically, we can set up 10 partnerships a month, and we guarantee results. Cool. There's a logical way to grow your business, okay? So I've got some examples here. This is what I just said. We grow moving companies by connecting them with real estate agents. Typically, we can set up 4 to 7 partnerships per month. We generate plumbing companies exclusive emergency plumbing leads on a pound results basis. We connect tree trimming companies with property management companies. These are logical ways that they can grow their business, okay? Then you've got lead magnet offers. Essentially, you're offering something for free that they would otherwise pay for. This then leads to a conversation where you can sell your services. So I'm going to put this in here because it's what we're doing at the moment. We essentially do outbound. We scrape a list of companies. We find that, let's say they're working with plumbing companies. We're already helping some agencies with plumbing companies. So we can say, hey, I saw you work with plumbing companies. We currently generate leads for 2 other agencies working with plumbing companies. Want me to send over a video on how we do it? It's a lead magnet because it's very valuable to most of these people. And so they'll say, yes, we send them a personalized video. We take 5 to 7 minutes of like diving through how we get these results. And then we ask if they want to have a call. The other way to do a lead magnet is something like this, a free video edit for YouTube that will double the amount of views. So like, hey, John, saw you guys are on YouTube. Do you want me to do a free edit for YouTube? And it will double the amount of views you're getting. Da, da, da. And then the goal of these, free homepage redesign that will increase conversions by 20%, 3 bits of content written in their brand voice that they can post on LinkedIn, is that in order to fulfill on these orders, you'd have to get them on a phone call. So if they say, yeah, I want 3 bits of content, okay, great. Let's set up a call where I can learn more about your brand voice, and then I can write these out for you. Why? Because that allows you to start the sales process, start building rapport with the prospects. We've found that if you're just, and this kind of goes against what I'm saying, but often if you are just sending out stuff to them, often you don't really hear much back from them. So when we do this, we also connect with them on LinkedIn and we follow up pretty heavily so that we can get them on a call. Ideally, when you're doing lead magnets, you're not doing any work until they've gone on a call with you and you've started the sales process. Okay. Niche industry. You need to be niche specific. This is what makes what you do believable. Okay. And what I mean by that is if you look at this offer, we generate plumbing companies exclusive emergency plumbing leads on a pound results basis. It's compelling because you're niche down plumbing companies and you talk about emergency plumbing leads, which is a type of lead that they want because they can charge more of depending on how much staff they have. It's a different conversation. And exclusive. This is a problem that people always ask. Like, are these leads exclusive? Because often when they're buying leads, they're not exclusive. It's just like everyone gets the lead and if you're the first to call it, then you can get it. So when you're niche down, you can be very specific about your offer. And when you're specific about the offer, then it's more believable. And you've got like 3 lines of text to be believable. Okay, you're starting from the foundation when they don't believe you. So the example that I often give is if you're playing basketball on the weekend and you roll your ankle and you go, it's really painful, it's swollen up the next day, and you go to the medicine cabinet and there's the painkiller or there's the rolled ankle playing basketball painkiller. The rolled ankle playing basketball painkiller is the one you're going to take because it's more specific to your situation, and hence you believe it's going to work better just by being more specific. They can be exactly the same painkiller. So the specificity is what allows you to be more believable, and you are fighting an uphill battle if you're not believable because you've got 3 lines of text to essentially prove to them that you're not a scammer. Okay, so this literally makes everything easier, not just acquisition. Your content now becomes more dialed in. You can build landing pages around it. You can build a sales process around it. You can build pricing around it. You can build your whole process around it. Okay, so we often don't say pick one niche. We pick 2 or 3 to begin with, because the most important thing of the niche is that you want to work with the people in the niche and you can get calls in the niche. So if you can get lots of calls but you hate the people, then obviously don't work in that niche. If you really want to work with them but you can't get lots of calls in that niche, then pick a different niche. Like lots of people just want to pick the niches that make them lots of money. Like, hey, yeah, we just want to work with multi-location dental offices. Cool. That's super hard to do. So you can go down that route. It's just going to be a lot more difficult to get your feet wet than going after pressure washing companies. Okay. You also want 20,000 businesses minimum in the niche, because otherwise you're not really going to be able to hit that 3K a month minimum volume. And I've got a list here of winning niches that you can download by clicking a link below this video. That'll just go through a bunch of winning niches. Okay. List building. If you email the wrong industry, your email is literally spam and should be marked as such, and you're going to waste a whole lot of time and money replacing burnt email accounts. Build good lists. What I mean by this is if you have an offer for hairdressers and it gets sent to nail salons because you just put beauty salon when building the list, that hairdresser offer is literally spam for a nail salon and they should mark it as spam. Okay? And if you get enough people marking email spam, your email is literally spam and Google and Microsoft will punish you. So don't do that. Good messaging to a good list is literally all that matters, and half of this is the list. So we focus on Google Maps scrapers because, especially for local businesses, you can build far better lists than no one else has. And I made a full in-depth guide on how to do this, and I honestly believe it's the best. It's not the cheapest, but I believe it's the best way to scrape Google Maps. And so you can watch that video here. Hopefully it's going to show an example. Email copy. Again, I have a whole video on this, but I can go through some examples. So this list will also be below this video. You can go through and look at email copy that's working. I'll show you the reply rate, the call booked rate, and essentially all the emails. So you can go through this. As an example, we connect kitchen remodelers with exclusive high intent homeowners. No tire kickers, just real projects. Most new homeowners are prepping for sale, looking for full kitchen overhauls or premium upgrades like custom chemistry and soft close drawers. Okay, so outcome-based angle, we're talking about specific things. Custom chemistry, soft close drawers. We typically bring in 4 to 6 of these new jobs every month. So no commitment, just happy to share how it works with a chat. To this one, we get replies like, hey, we don't do custom cabinetry. Do you guys do XYZ? And you can say, yes, we actually do all types of kitchens. We're just being specific so that we get more believable. Because if we said we get kitchen remodelers leads, it's nowhere near as believable as premium upgrades like custom cabinetry and soft close drawers. Okay, so you can go through this in your own time, and you can also watch the video that I have that again should appear somewhere around here, going through this in lots of depth. And then this is something that I recently wanted to add because I think it is super important. So up until now, we've pretty much always asked if the prospect is open to a call. And I think that if we're doing this for our clients, that's probably the best approach because they want people that are open to a call. But I think if you're running the outreach for yourself and you have the time to try and solve it, often you can go for a more competitive niche and ask if it's okay to send over a video explainer or a softer call to action. Because in competitive niches, they're essentially a lot more jaded to committing to calls. So what roofing, competitive niche, HVAC, competitive niche. You'll get so many more yeses if you say, hey, we do this awesome thing. I know you probably get asked for calls multiple times a day. How about I just send you a video and you can see if it's worth your time? Okay, you'll get way more yeses and then you can turn into calls. So feel free to adjust your email copy to not ask for a call, but ask for something else, especially if they're in a competitive niche. Okay, so now this is herding sheep towards a call, all right? So how do you turn replies into calls? The faster you respond, the better. There is no too quick, instantly and smartly. I believe both throttle replies coming in anyway, so you can't really respond too quick. Just respond as fast as you can. Make them a video explainer if they're a good prospect. Connect with them on LinkedIn if they're a good prospect. Call them if you can. If you get a really good reply come in, just call them. People are obviously scared to do that, but just call them. You're going to have way more sales conversations if you do that. Don't send them a booking link, propose times, and then book yourself. Booking link has about a 50% drop off. Just don't do it. Just be like, hey, does Tuesday 10 a.m. or Thursday 4 p.m. work better? And then if they don't reply, say, hey, I've booked us in for Tuesday 10 a.m. Please let me know if another time of day suits better. And then you can book them in, okay? Make sure your booking software sends them 2 SMS reminders for that initial call. Don't dodge their questions, just have good answers. If they ask what's the price and you don't want to tell them because it's $10,000 a month, maybe it shouldn't be $10,000 a month. They should be able to see the value in it, right? So how we often do this is your price needs to make sense. It needs to be logical. Hey, it costs $10,000 a month, but on average you make $30,000 in your first month. So now it's logical, okay? You can charge any price. You just have to anchor it to the value that they're getting and make it logical, okay? People are very now used to people just trying to dodge the question and be like, hey, I need to tailor it for you for a specific package. We need to do it over the call. They're just going to say, no, I'm good. So don't dodge their questions. Just have good answers. All right, think about what is the best answer I could provide here, and then be like, can we offer that? Okay, follow up. Very simple. If they no-show, it can only be 2 things. They forgot or it's not valuable enough. And if you're sending them 2 SMS reminders and you're reconfirming the calls, it's just that they don't care enough about the call. They've stubbed their toe, and fixing their stub toe is far more important than your call. So the real here is you make better and better, more compelling offers. Okay? But at least send out the SMS reminders so that you know it's not that they have forgotten about the call. Okay, I'm going to quickly get through this sales process. So we recommend a 2-step sales process. Discovery call, which is an intro where you build rapport and identify the gap. You want it to be about 10 to 15 minutes. You want the prospect to do most of the talking. Why? Because when you have a conversation with someone and you do a lot of the talking, you're like, man, I really like that person. They're really nice. If you get them to do a lot of the talking, they're going to think you're really nice. Okay, so you're going to do a discovery call. You're going to essentially be asking them questions. Hey, I've got your website open in front of me, but maybe could you just give me a quick rundown? Okay, awesome. Like what things have you tried in the past to grow? Oh, I tried Facebook ads. They were terrible. Okay, cool. Like what things are you doing at the moment? Like how are you getting leads? Are you happy with the amount of leads that are coming through? Ask them open-ended questions. You're going to be able to ask them specific industry questions once you talk to more people in the niche, which is going to allow you to build a better sales process. Okay. Then at the end of that call, you're going to say, okay, great. Like it sounds like you guys are looking to grow, which is awesome. I definitely think now's the time. I've got some things that might be useful. I think the best thing to do would maybe find a time if you're open to it for a 45-minute video call. I can share what we're doing with a few other plumbing agencies or plumbing companies across the states and sort of how they're getting leads, their cost per lead, that sort of thing. And then, if you're interested, we can talk about doing it for you. If you just want the info and then you can do with it what you will, that's fine as well. So would you be open to a video call? You set up a video call and then you do a demo call, right? This is essentially like a live VSL where you walk through results, your process, pitch pricing. Do a motivated price. If you don't, you'll lose a lot of sales. Just do it. Motivated price, meaning that if you buy now, or we do within like 24, 48 hours, because they'll typically need to talk to the business partner, we give you a cheaper price. Okay. Other notes. Content. I would recommend starting a YouTube channel or start posting on LinkedIn. I recommend this to everyone and no one does it, which is fine. I get it. It takes time and effort. And when you don't have that many results or you're relatively new to a niche, you're scared. Perfect. It'd be cool to look back on the videos where you're scared. So posting anyway. It will better help capture top of funnel prospects because now they know that you are a real person. And you can match them over a long time. Like I said, I've recommended this to so many agencies, but most just don't do it, which is fine. And personalized videos. So we do personalized videos in each email. Again, I've got another video of how we do that. We use a software called Pitchland, which essentially makes this process very easy. You don't have to do personalized videos in your emails. We just find we get better results. So we like doing that way. So if you are an agency looking for a system to provide qualified calls consistently for you or your sales team, then book in a call below and we can see if we are a good fit. But if you're not ready for that, no worries. I would recommend you check out the video that is on screen now that covers the exact cold email copy that we're using to book calls today. See you in the next one. Peace.